Hello, everybody. David Wiedemann from davidwiedemann.com. This is episode 11 of 5 Minutes of Thought. Lines and Squiggles. What's the big idea today? It's systems thinking. This is a buzzword. Everybody's talking about it. But why is it important and why does it matter? Why should I know the universal systems model at all? That's the question that we'll try to answer today. And we'll do it in 4 parts. We'll talk about lines. We'll talk about squiggles. We'll ask, so what? And we'll reflect, and wondrous things will ensue. Let's start with lines. It seems like a general human tendency to think of everything as having 2 components and to connect those 2 components with some kind of a linear relationship, a line. Action, consequence, cause and effect, either or, tit for tat, black or white, good or bad, you or me, input, output. The list could go on forever. Let's look at a concrete example, the light switch. The switch is down, the light is off. Switch is up, light's on. Off, on, off, on. From looking at this relationship, it's not hard to see why people might think that a light switch and a light are the only 2 components in making light happen. But the truth is it's a little bit more complicated than that. It's less like a line and more like a squiggle. There are multiple parts in a more complicated relationship. There's a power source. There is the light switch. There is the light that you have to complete the circuit. There's wiring. So there's a lot going on. This doesn't turn the light on. This does. Not this, but this. Not linear, but squiggly. Line gets you this. Squiggle gets you this. Let me ask you a question. You have to choose somebody to be in charge of the lighting in your house. Who are you going to choose? The person with a linear understanding of how lighting works or the person with a squiggly understanding of how light works? It depends. If you just want the lights turned on and off consistently, you might get away with option A. But if you want to change, grow, improve, increase, design, think about lights in a deeper way, you're going to need to go with option B. And that brings us to the so what section of our broadcast today. There are 2 so whats to take home. So what number 1, squiggles learn and lines repeat. If you just want to repeat something, then a linear understanding is all that you really need. But if you want to break out of a repetition cycle or do something more than repetition, like create, change, improve, you're going to need to go into squiggle territory. Sometimes it's okay to repeat things. Sometimes you don't want to repeat things, like mistakes. Let's pause and reflect. Invitation number 1, capture the feelings, thoughts, ideas, nuances that pop into you as you're watching this episode. Think about them, track them down. You may be moving into a squiggly zone of your own. Option 2, advanced option, pop up from behind your cubicle and see if you can't explain this to the guy in the next cubicle. I call that the cubicle challenge. And with that, I think we have come to the end of our talk. We talked about lines, we talked about squiggles, we asked so what, and we reflected, and wondrous things, I hope, ensued. This has been 5 Minutes of Thought, episode number 11, Lines and Squiggles. I'm David Wiedemann. Come visit me at davidwiedemann.com where you'll see a lot of things like this. And you'll see a great feedback form, and you can give me some thoughts about how you're doing and what you're thinking. And because we have a few seconds before this officially becomes 5 Minutes of Thought, I thought I would just leave you with a special present today, and that is one of my favorite systems models of all, the universal systems model. So check this out, think about it, reflect on it, have an awesome day.